Mm, to you, my friends, so long, farewell, until we meet again. I guess I should sing that like at the end. I'll do that. Hello and good morning. Happy Friday. I'm Britt. This is my channel, brittwriterly. It's a book and author tube where I talk about the intersections of literature and culture, and mostly through these FriYAY reading sprints right here at this point. Good morning, all. I was in the wrong StreamYard studio. I was looking in the chat and I was like, oh, I guess I can keep talking to my parents because nobody's even in the chat. And then when I was like, let me call y'all back and get this thing started, and I pushed start broadcast, it was like, your broadcast has been deleted. I was like, by whom? And then I looked at it and it was a stream that I did delete from like 2 months ago. But now I'm here. Okay. How are y'all? I see y'all are all here, actually here. So I know I'm in the right place. Tia, it's been so long. Good morning. And good morning, Pat. I hope your back is feeling better. Not too bad. Okay. Cool, cool, cool. Yes, prepare the others. Let them know, Tia. Let them know. Felicia, good morning. Okay, what are y'all reading? Pat is reading The Secret to a Southern Wedding by Cynthia Williams. Sounds good. The Secret to a Southern Wedding. How is it so far? Like, where are you? In the middle of a few books. Today I'm listening to Cruel Seduction by Katie Robert. This is my second try at reading Katie Robert, and I'm enjoying it. Okay, cool. What makes y'all give writers a second chance? Not saying that you shouldn't, just curious. Like when you read a writer's first book and you're like, no, what's the difference between reading a writer's first book and you being like, no and never again? And you being like, no, but let me catch you on the flip side. Like, do something else and I'll see how I feel about it. Because there's some authors whose books I've read that I'm just like, this is our last conversation. On a run. No, ma'am, I wish. At this point, I really could have gone to the gym down the street and done some hot yoga or their little body sculpt or whatever. I'm looking fabulous. The sun is just streaming in on me and being like, but ow, yeah. Thank you. And my little tiger onesie, Tig the kid, is joining us. He'll probably be gone by the next sprint, but I was like, let's just get this party started. Queen Shay is right below you. Not bad so far. Chapter 5, I've read her other books, so no doubt it'll be good. Okay. All right. So let's get into our first sprint. I have no idea what I'm reading, but honestly, I'm going to call my parents back and finish this conversation real quick, which will probably take really no time at all. Like 5 minutes maybe. And then I don't know what I am reading because I finished Family Lore and I honestly haven't read anything since. And so, well, that's not true. It was but it's the Amaranthine Saga. That doesn't really count at this point. You feel me? Like it's a comfort read. It's something I put on at night to just be like. So obviously I'm reading my favorite, which is book 2. I never could say what my favorite was. Like I'm bad at favorites, so I usually like choose a cluster, which is hard to do in a series because if you're choosing a cluster in a series, you're just choosing the entire series. But I think I can now confidently say that book 2 of the Amaranthine Saga is my favorite because it's the one I listen to the most, bar none. I really wish that Audible kept track of how often you read something or how many hours you spent reading something, because then you could just divide by the hours in the book to tell like how many times you've read it. But I feel like at this point it's got to be over 10 times or approaching that, because I've read the first one like 4 or 5. And I've read the second one significantly more times than the first. Although whenever I go back and read the first, I'm like, this one, it hooked me for a reason. But book 2 hooks me in the heart. Why? There are dogs and there's a puppy. That's all you need to do. That's all you need to do, FriYAY. But anyway, we're going to start the first sprint, and then I'm gonna look at y'all's answers, and I'll type it on the screen just to remind you. But the question is, what separates writers you don't give a second chance from writers, oh, dang, from writers that you do give a second chance? I can't keep up with StreamYard. They used to let me on the same screen, and now they don't. Yeah, so that's the question, and we will get at that. And wait, did I do it wrong again? No, I didn't. Hold on. Present. Share screen. Do. Otis. Yes. Okay, there's Otis. Can't multitask. Okay. So yeah, what makes y'all give a writer a second chance? We're gonna talk about that in 29 minutes and 59 seconds. All right. In 3, 2, 1. We're coming to see you, Otis. All right. How did that sprint go for y'all? Ended up being with my parents the entire time, talking about dog food. And do y'all have dogs? What do y'all feed your dogs? We were talking about Farmer's Dog, and they were like, how much is it? And I was like, well, let me go see because I don't know. They price this stuff per day, which makes sense because it's fresh. So I guess they're sending it to you for the week. Um, it's expensive. Now, would I do that for my fur baby? Probably. Maybe. At least for like 1 or 2 weeks of the year. I mean, what are of the year? 1 or 2 weeks a month. Could I see myself doing that? Sure. Because I don't like cooking and that's just convenient. Um, but also like you don't need Farmer's Dog to feed your dog real food. Like you can just cook them a breast of chicken, pour some like vitamin oil over it or something, put some berries on top. Like there are ways to feed your dog way less expensively than Farmer's Dog if you know what your dog likes, if you know what dogs can eat safely, and if you don't mind cooking, which like if you feed yourself, then you shouldn't necessarily mind that. You can just throw an extra portion in there and give it to your dog as long as what you're eating is like fresh and healthy. So yeah, my parents were like, we're not on the Farmer's Dog vibe. We see the commercials. It looks really nice. What's that price? Not for us. So we were talking about like what they could feed the dog. Um, what do y'all feed y'all's if you have dogs? Let me see what y'all. Okay. I give people a second chance if it's a 3-star read the first time. Okay. Or if someone I trust raves about another book of theirs, but it's usually a hey, read it with a lot of skepticism. Can confirm. Um, that makes sense. So if you don't like if the first book is like it's not my cup of tea, but I don't have an issue with it, then if someone else suggested a book of yours to me, I'll read it. I can see that. Oh, baby hugs are the best. Yay! Is that cover not so beautiful? I love the Dark Place cover. Ooh, hydrate, and I don't have a stitch of water around me. I'm gonna get it, Pat. I'm gonna get it the next sprint. Some water and also some breakfast, which at this point maybe is like lunch, but no, I'll get like a breakfast snack, and then after the stream, I'll eat. I'm probably just gonna get a peach yogurt drink and a pepper jack cheese stick. The ones at Target, because what's unfortunate is not all cheese is created equal. Some of these cheese sticks, especially when you try to get fancy and get like a pepper jack cheese stick, they be they got a little nasty kickback after the bite. So I'm just like, ugh. But the ones at Target, no regrets. I bought 2 packs this time. Yes, y'all smash that like button. Okay. I don't see any more answers to my question in the chat. That's fine. I'm gonna put this into another spread. Um, I don't know what I'm gonna read. I was reading. Well, actually, I guess I can keep on reading The Dark Place if I don't have like something else to read. And I do have a long back list of books to read. I just would prefer that to be an audiobook. Oh, I'm gonna see if The House of Marion is on Audible or is on Scribd because that came out. J.O.'s House of Marion, and I really meant to pre-order it and get a signed copy. But I went into a Barnes and Noble, but did not like obviously it was like 2 weeks ago, so obviously it wasn't out yet. But now I might. But I also like I thought about it to support, but I really, really don't need to bring any more physical books into this house. I don't have anywhere to put them. So I wanted to buy it to order it, to buy it to support and get a signed copy, but like I ain't got nowhere to put it. It'll literally be like on or under my bed full time or after I'm done reading it. I don't like storing stuff that way. I'm not a fan of stacking stuff. So until I move, get a bigger place, I'm truly like, not just because I don't read them, even if I wanted to support, I'm not trying to buy any more books physically until I have a space where I can actually shelf them. So, yeah, this sprint I'm going to go. Hey, Lena. This sprint I am going to see if House of Marion is on Audible. Has anyone read House of Marion? Let me put this next sprint up. Oh man, why not, Vina? Oh, dang. Now I kind of want to see. That's interesting. She said it was like she felt like it was her best written book thus far. I wonder what about it was like the best for her. Like if it was character development or premise or plot. House of. Ah, it does have an audiobook. 14 hours. Listen. Now who reading it? Ooh, a lullaby for witches. Who's reading it? Who the heck is this? Oh, narrated by Andre Santana and Kate Simpsons. Let me go back and read this what's it called? Synopsis. From blah, 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 modern day YA romantic fantasy series. Oh, it's a series. Series opener about a glamorous magical world of social elites, forbidden love, and dark magic that could destroy it all. A must listen for fans of Lee Bardugo, Sarah J. Maas, and Bridgerton. 17-year-old Quell has lived her entire life on the run. She and her mother have fled from city to city in order to hide the deadly magic that flows through Kell's veins until someone discovers her dark secret. Kell is such an interesting name, especially because it's spelled Quell, like to keep something hidden, like a little double meaning. To hide from the assassin hunting her and keep her mother out of harm's way. Oh, her mom's alive. Okay, cool. Love it. Kell reluctantly interesting, inducts into a debutante society of magical social elites called the Order that she never knew existed. This is giving me Legendborn vibes. Different premise because the mom is alive, but like the secret society. Anyway, if she can pass their 3 rites of membership, Legendborn vibes, mastering their proper form of magic, Legendborn vibes, she'll be able to secretly bury her forbidden magic forever. If caught, she will be killed. But becoming the perfect debutante is a lot harder than Kel imagined, especially when there's more than tutoring happening with Jordan, her brooding mentor and assassin in training. When Carol uncovers the deadly links the order will go to defend its wealth and power, she's forced to choose embrace the dark magic she's been running from her entire life, or risk losing everything and everyone she's grown to love. I need to plug this puppy in. Still, she fears the most formidable monster she'll have to face is the one inside, brimming with ball gowns and betrayal, magic and mystery, decadence, and darkness. House of Marion is perfect for listeners who crave morally gray characters, irresistible romance, dark academia, and a deeply intoxicating and original world. I'm behind on my books. I need to read Lisa Springer's book before Tuesday. Shay, stop this. Stop this shade. Stop it. Isn't that the I don't know. I don't know. Because I don't mind a soft magic system. It don't bother me. If that's what it's supposed to be. I'm feeling a little I'll see for myself. At least, I mean, if it's on script. Now, if I have to use a credit for that, I don't know. Let me see if it's on script. But now I know it has an audiobook, so it may well be. And didn't her middle grade go well? So I don't know if that's the consensus about all of her books, because she got the middle grade. No, it's not on. It's just a podcast episode talking about the House of Marion. I'll check Libby. Anyway, Sing Me to Sleep. Did you recommend this to me? You're saying it like you brought it up again. What you mean yet? It's not on my radar. It's long, but it reads really fast. Listen, y'all know how I feel about these long darn books. Sing Me. I still gotta read the book that Deidre recommended to me, the Daffodil Kingdom thing. 20 hours. Okay. And here's the thing. I would read it if I was just planning on reading it like Lord of the Rings, putting it on when I'm going to sleep. If you want me to pay attention, I gotta make plans for that. Sing Me to Sleep. Who is it by? Because on Audible, it's coming up as a bunch of listening podcasts. A sleep podcast. Oh, you heard some things about that too. Oh man. My last comment was for you, Lena. Okay. I don't mind the soft magic system, but she doesn't really explain hers. They just be having magic. Gabby Burton. Okay. I don't know. I really hate that. I was looking forward to like, ooh, a free book on Audible. Who drew this? Anyway. Yeah, that seems to be the consensus, Shay. I don't mind. I mean, she said that. Like she said she wants to talk about gentrification. So I don't mind leaning on real world struggles. Like that's fine. It's just the execution of the magic system does have to be there, even if it is soft. You don't have to explain to execute. There's just some consistency that would be there. And I thought the coil wands were cute for a middle grade in theory, like in premise. I don't know what the execution of those were though. So dang, that's unfortunate. Okay. Well, what am I looking for? Sing Me to Sleep by Gabby Burton. Sang Me to Sleep. Oh, came right up. Okay, 12 and a half hours. I don't know where we are that's not a lot to me. It is, but it's just like less than other people have done. So I'm like, all right. Which maybe is why I've been sticking with romances because they don't behave this way. They don't be out here trying to hold you for no half a day. Or maybe it says something about the lack of trust I have in these books to deserve half a day. Because some of the stuff I be giving my time to, I'm just like, what am I putting in my ear? Goodness. Mm-mm-mm. Mm, mm, mm. Okay, I'm gonna check on Libby and see if Sing Me to Sleep is there. Sing me. Oh, boom. Sing Me to Sleep. Okay. It is as an ebook on Libby, so we'll see. Not the ones I be reading. I haven't read a long romance since Alexandria House, and she's the only person that I would give that to. And a thriller also, like I'm here for it. I want it, but I guess I've just lost hope in these fantasies because they be doing the same thing to take forever that don't need to happen. To do like it's the formula that get me off the ride and fantasy. That's really where I'm just sick of reading the same fantasy with a different title, and the title doesn't even be that different. A court of so and so and so and so. A this of that or that. It just seems like the formula is what's up right now, and I'm not into it. Thrillers, I feel like I just see less formula in the thrillers I read. And with romance, I don't care as much because you go to romance for the tropes and they're going to end up together anyway, so you half don't care about that either. If it's a unique premise and the banter is there, then you kind of get over a lot of that stuff. It's the way that the two people talk to each other that's the freshness in the romance. There's just a higher bar for originality in fantasy. Maybe it's just me, but I don't know that I've been like super excited about more than one fantasy book a year for 2 years now. Hence my hiatus from the whole genre. Um, yeah, it's bumming me out, Vina. It's bumming me the freak out. Okay, what happened? Wait. What happened with that? A good thriller in a minute. Exactly. Exactly. I need my action before the last 25%. Can we sprinkle it liberally and stir? For what mess? All right, y'all, let's get into this next sprint. Vina, the question I had asked in our first sprint was what's the difference for you between reading a first writer's book, not loving it? That's what it is. It's too much of an investment if I'm only gonna be let down. I don't mind a good little setup. It needs to be a good one. Like it needs to be a story in its own right that felt like it just needed another book. Like I don't mind if there's like, wow, there's so much happening. We got to get into da, 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 and it just takes several books to tell the story of that journey. I don't mind that. There's a way to do a series well. I don't remember it being so hard to accomplish. I really don't. But maybe I was just too young to realize. Maybe I was just too young to realize. I don't know. Um, at any rate, the question I had asked Vina was how what's the difference for y'all for the chat between a book where you read an author's first book and you don't love it, but you're willing to give them a second chance, and a book between you read the author's first book and you're like, that's the last book I'm ever reading from you. What's the difference between those two things for you? Um, and I will this time actually put that question on the screen. Okay, and 3, 2, 1. We're coming to see you, Otis. Okay. I had some water, Pat, by the way. I like when each book can stand on its own. What do you mean by that? Like, hold on. Oh, it's so dark in here, even though I'm sitting in front of the sun. Hold on. What do you mean? It still feels dark. What do you mean you want each book to stand on its own? Like, do you want like each book to have its own adventure, as opposed to just being one long adventure running over the course of the series? Like, what do you mean exactly by that? Because I'm not gonna hold you. Like, I can do either one. It just has to be well done. I don't mind if we're on an adventure for several books, like Harry Potter. They had one major goal over 8 books. I was fine with that. Or something more episodic, where it's like, or like Series of Unfortunate Events. They had one major goal. It was to stay alive, but that was the goal the whole time. And then also like Series of Unfortunate Events, though, like it was sort of episodic. Like every book, it was in a different town, a different city, a different state, with different adults and different schools and meeting new friends. Like, I could do either. I could do either. BCM. Who is that? Who is BCM? I'm trying to think. Oh. I could never get into it. I just couldn't get into the mermaid one. It depends on how they wrote the MC. Too much unaddressed anti-blackness. Self-hate is a never again for me. I feel that. Is that Chloe? Oh my word. Hi, Chloe. If I don't like a debut, I'll give an author a second chance. Or if the overall book was meh, but one part was really memorable. Okay, I can see that. Yeah, that's fair. I can't read. I can't see what emoji that is. It looks like a fruit, but I'm assuming it's if the author is showing the broad side of their behind on socials. I won't read again. I can see that. Some of these people need to get off of social media. It's not helping you. Get your daily quota. Hydrate, hydrate, hydrate. I figured it out. I tried. People were raving about it. I was like, okay. I don't mind the Black Mermaid. Do you remember when that was the thing to do? Write a Black Mermaid book? I swear. If Trad Pub stopped operating on trends, we would have a lot more story diversity. It's always trends. It's time for everyone to write a, like, what was it? Oh my gosh, what am I thinking of? It's when like Legendborn and Cinderella is dead, fairy tale reimaginings. That trend. I think that might have been the clearest trend I have ever seen. Like, it was very clear that everyone was just like, it's time to do a reimagined fantasy. Man, I think if Trap Up just stopped, not just, but like, please stop operating on trends where it's like, we're all doing this. That's what the books are going to be for the next year. Like, let people write what they want to write. It's fine to have a book that's a fairy tale redone and a vampire book and a what was Bad Witch Burning? I almost said narcolepsy. That's not what it's called. necromancer. Like, can we get a little bit more story diversity in a single quarter from y'all, please? Or a single fiscal year. I'm begging. Sure is fair. Chloe, do you see all of this love? We miss you. A gay old girl with the not haunted house book to me. Mercy. Because you sure did. You hate tweeted the mess out of that book. It wasn't a mermaid book? Ah, sirens. Okay. Respect. Wasn't a mermaid book. Get your life. What was her name? Bethany Seymour, right? Yeah. Get your life, Bethany. That's fine. And I'm not mad at a sirens book. I'm really not. I hate that. I hate that so much. That's not a book I want to see repeated. Tripub is on fire. And that's the thing. It's like the issue with writing to trend. And you know what, Shay? I'm sensing a writerly conversation here. The issue with writing to trends is that unless you have someone that has their finger on the pulse of it, trends just sneak up on you. Unless you have someone who's like, I think in the next year or two, because X movie just came out, or because X TV show's become popular, we'll see or like this series is about to, like, I know someone in Hollywood or whatever, and this series is about to come out. I had a chance to read it. It's really good. And I think that series that isn't out yet, that doesn't have reviews or whatever, that is going to, that people are gonna love it. It's gonna blow up, and it's a good idea to have a book that's like a comp to that. If it's like a ghost book or a ghost series, that ghost series is coming out, people are gonna love it. I think you should write a little ghost book to ride that wave. And then you have time to execute it, because the truth is it takes time to write a good book. If you're just trying to produce a book for the trend, you're not really going to have a lot of time to produce it, to polish it, to allow your critique partners to do anything more than scan over it, let alone alphas, betas. You don't have time for that when you're just trying to write a book for a trend that's only going to last for the calendar year. And we know how long it takes for Trap Pub to get a book out. You got to give them the book the day the trend start, or you're going to be late. So I'm just like, I just wish people would stop writing to trend if you don't have enough time to do it well. Because I'll read 100 good witch books, but I'm not just going to read 100 witch books because I'm in the mood to read a witch book. It needs to be good. Seriously. Wait, what? Sirens were a stand-in for Black women, while also Black women had their own Black struggles. So you had just like two different representations of the same group. Interesting. No more white besties. Well, there you have it. Girls can have more than one friend, and it's healthier that way. Okay. Well, it's 11:46. If we do another sprint, we'll go over. I don't really want to go over. So I might just close it out here. I listened to a sample of House of Marion. It's too soon to tell anything about anything, but it was giving me Legend Born vibes. And also, I'm not gonna say that on live. And why did I start to private chat you, Shay, like you're on the screen when you're not? Funny. But anyway, yeah, I don't know. I really, really want to check out House of Marion. So I'm gonna see if my library has it, even on ebook, which obviously I don't prefer for like a full reading experience, but it will be faster to swipe through an ebook than having to like listen through an audiobook, you know? So if my library has it on ebook, I will get it so I can like skim it and see what's up. Okay. It's been lovely, y'all. I'm gonna see you next week if the Lord will and the creek don't rise. These have me in a chokehold. They're dried mangoes. Chokehold achieved. Yeah. Y'all have a lovely day. My anime podcast, Legends of Two Black Girls, is going to be premiering on September 7th. That's next Thursday on all major streaming platforms. So definitely go check it out. That's with me and another my critique partners, Rose. So definitely go check out Legends of Two Black Girls. If you haven't followed us on Instagram, definitely do that. At 2BLK Anime Girls. And yeah, hopefully y'all have a lot of fun with the podcast. I certainly will. And also we will be on Patreon. So I'll let you know when that drops. I know I've been talking about getting off their Patreon forever and never happened, but I'm getting a Patreon for anime. It's on brand. Y'all have a lovely weekend. Please be safe out there. There's gonna be a lot of traffic, a lot of people in lots of like crowded areas. Have a mask handy. Even if you don't like masking, have one handy. Make sure it matches your outfit if that's going to be a deterrent for you. Just be prepared to be safe out there and not bring home anything that you didn't want to bring home. All right. Bye. I go